Hi, I'm Tim Peterson. This is David Telfer. We're with Robot Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and today we'd like to go over the armbar from the closed guard.
Now, starting here from the closed guard, the first thing we need to do is trap his arm. Now, the correct way to trap someone's arm is to go underneath the arm you don't want, grab the sleeve, and then go behind the elbow with your trapping arm. Now, two things. I need to make sure that my fingers are going as far around as possible. Ideally, I would like to see my fingers come out the other side here. Now, I won't always get that, but if I can, that's great. The other important part is his forearm should be covered by my forearm. So I don't want to be like this. I would prefer to use my right hand to move his forearm so it's directly underneath mine. That puts a lot of pressure on his arm and makes it difficult for him to move it. Now, I know the arm lock is open when I'm able to use this trap to move his elbow across the center line. If his elbow is on this side, it will be very difficult to keep it here because I'm just using my arms to hold it. If I move it across the center, then simply sitting up will allow my stomach to trap his elbow and prevent his arm from coming back. After I trap his arm, I'm going to immediately put my right foot on his hip with my knee behind his shoulder. I cannot let my knee be next to it or in front of it because he'll just pull his arm out. So I pull his arm across, put my right foot on his hip, my knee's behind his shoulder. Now my right hand is free to grab his opposite lapel. I want to grab and make a fist just like I would with all my other grips. Now I'm not just going to pull him down, but I'm also going to pull myself up. So I pull my elbow down and I sit up as much as I can. If I stay flat here, it releases the trap on his arm, but it also doesn't make him carry my weight. If I pull here and I also sit up, now he's carrying my weight and it's much more difficult for him to posture out of this. Once I've got this in place, I'm going to take my left leg and bring it up to his back. I use my right foot to help me pivot to the side while I do this. Here. Two details, I need to keep my heel as close to the back of his head as possible, and my knee should be flush to his armpit. Even if my heel is on the back of his head, if my knee is not in his armpit, he will posture out of this. So I bring my knee into his armpit and my heel to the back of his head. Once I have this trap, I can press on his face. If he has cauliflower ear and I push on his ear, he's more likely to move his head. And then I'm going to comb my leg over his hair. I don't want to swing wide. I'd rather just press his head into my knee so that when I move my knee, his head moves. Okay, I'm here. I press his face, pass my leg over the top. I put my heels to the floor, my knees together, trap his arm and slowly raise my hips and make sure his thumb is pointed to the ceiling. Now there's a lot of steps there, but an easy way to remember how to do this is to remember that it goes arms, legs, until we're finished. And that's just not convenient. It's actually because my legs are always replacing the function of my arms. So if I trap his arm and move it across, in order to have my arms free to work again, I need to replace what my arms are doing with my leg. So now my leg comes into play, and it's replacing the trap on his arm. So now my right arm can act. I can pull him down, sit up. I need to replace this pull with my left leg. Comes over the top. Now I'm going to push his face away. I replace this push with my own leg. And again, my right hand is able to act. I trap his wrist and finish. When you think of the arm lock in that way, it's easier to understand what all the various parts of your body are doing. Your hands act, your legs replace them, and then your hands are free to act again, all the way through until your opponent taps.